It's still going on, and here it is. Family farm ordered to destroy 50,000 pounds of cheese because it was made out of raw milk. Oh my God, raw milk is bad. We've been doing it for thousands of years, but it's suddenly bad today because we're not boiling all the nutrition out of it and turning it into a glue-like substance with all these hormones in it. Hormones make men into women and women into super women and their daughters having puberty at 7. That's a scary thought, isn't it? But it's happening. Do your research. Reality, reason? Nah, we've got regulatory authority. Morningland Dairy is the latest attempt by the FDA to fulfill the Healthy People's 2020 objective to kill raw dairy. Morningland is owned by Joseph and Denise Dixon, who operate the cheese plant and make raw cheese from cows kept right on the property and managed by one of their eldest daughters. They have 12 children, 4 who still live at home, and they have been actively engaged in real food for decades. They were caught up in the Rawesome Raid dragnet, and many believe the questionable California Department of Food and Agriculture test on their cheese are the legal justification for the multi-agency guns-drawn raid at the Rawesome Farm's perfect safety record matters not to these authorities. In the 30 years of Morningland Dairy operations, no one has become ill from consuming their products, yet they have been ordered by the Missouri Milk Board to destroy all of their cheese without actual tests being performed on the cheese stock. This is nearly 50,000 pounds of cheese, or approximately $250,000. See, since the Milk Board and the FDA showed up at the Morningland on August 26, they have been embargoed from shipping or making any product. They dumped their milk for nearly 6 weeks before being approved to send it into homogenized, pasteurized distribution glue factories. All the while, they have had to pay the bill to keep the dairy and cheese plant operable. On September 24th, the Milk Board verbally ordered Morningland to destroy their product. Morningland asked that this order be put in writing. 1 week later, the order was hand-delivered to General Manager-Owner Joseph Dixon. The order states that in 3 business days, the Milk Board would contact them with when and how the cheese is to be destroyed. Oh my God, it's some type of plague. It must be destroyed properly, so the manufacturers of the corporations can go on. Morningland rebukes the destroy order and offers a solution against the corpse. Morningland dared to publish a written objection to committing suicide to their farm and lifestyle, a rebuttal and proposed remedy. They refuted many of the stated facts in the 10-page order. Destroy orders Morningland Dairy. The Morningland Dairy then offered a reasonable, logical, scientifically sound remedy to the destruction on the afternoon of October 6. Government pushes forward to destroy cheese and farm. The next morning, they were served with restraining orders and primarily injunction by the Attorney General's Office of Missouri. They were to be in court the very next day, and some they were ordered to destroy their wealth on Friday, asked for logic and justice on Wednesday, notified they were being sued on Thursday, and ordered to be in court on Friday. At 4:50 p.m. Thursday, the Attorney General's office called and canceled court because 1 or 2 of their witnesses couldn't attend. Yes, 2 of the paid accusers could not show up. Never mind that a family-run dairy and cheese plant with 9 families making a living through it should mount a legal defense against destruction in one day. It's another raid using Gestapo legal tactics to fit the MO of the FDA and their minions, or sub-agents, if you prefer. As readers of this blog and those in the real food movement know, the FDA has a mission to destroy family farms. They have blatantly stated that you have no right to consume foods of your choice. You, the people, cannot choose what you want to eat. They will choose for you. Big Brother is there. Orwell's 1984 is coming. And the FDA plant and dairy head has a documented Howard Hughes-like fear of raw dairy. They think anyone that produces raw dairy is some type of disease manufacturer, even though it's been done for generations. Like I said, this is insane. They are happy to use their resources to protect you, the people, from consuming things that don't make anyone ill, even though their products do. Look at the eggs. That was done by a corporate factory egg producer, not by mom and pop. They have reduced science to superstition, or to cover up their own neglects. If they get more power through S510, they will regulate the family farm and real food to death and give you Cheese Whiz, artificial Cheese Whiz, more artificial than cheese, and Twinkies, more artificial ingredients than Twinkie, as government-approved food. What you can do to help, to fight for your right to choose what you want to eat. Morningland must be able to go on the offense. They are willing to sacrifice everything they have worked for to stand for your ability to eat real food that hasn't been glutified like in milk. Friends of Morningland have put up a website, Uncheese Party. They are asking supporters to sponsor a cheese to help the family out financially. Pick your cheese they make and they will pay. As for as little as $5, you can tell the FDA and their minions that you are smart enough to decide what you want to eat and don't need their permission or help to figure out what is good for you or us. This battle must be won. Doreen Hennis. For several years, Doreen Hennis has been actively exposing the agencies and organizations that desire to control the food supply through international agreements, the UN, treaties, and the agency rulemaking and legislative processes. A married homesteader herself, raiser of food and critters and children, she has dedicated herself to exposing the truth behind the disinformation being spouted by those who would benefit financially from controlling independent agriculture and your life on what you can eat. Do you want someone to tell you that you've got to eat what they give you? Or do you want to choose what you want to eat by your knowledge of what's good for you and what's not? Processed foods are not good for you. They cause colon cancer and all types of other cancers in the body. We got to fight this. We got to fight for our right for free food. And they'll take away our free food if we let them get away with the S510, which in not so many words basically says that soon you won't be able to grow tomatoes in your yard or crops of any type because they won't be, quote, approved by the international corporations of agriculture. So you better wake up, people. You better smell this fascist coming down at you. Because that's what it is. Fascism is corporations running government, and the FDA is supposedly a government entity. So therefore, it's fascism is what we're being controlled by. Man, this is bad. Because I've seen what happened with that. See the documentary Food Inc. or Food Incorporated. That documentary will wake you up with chickens grown in 40 days instead of 80 to 90 days normally. And that these chickens are so overweight, their body parts and organs inside cannot keep up with the growth of their muscle tissue. So they take 2 or 3, well actually up to 6 inches or so walking, and then they plop back down, and then they get up and make an effort to walk again and plop back down because they're so heavy from the growth hormones they can't even walk anymore like normal chickens. They never see the light of day. They have now closed most of the ones off that had windows, and they're all in dark all the time. And they go in there and they pull out hundreds of chickens a day out of the thousands that they're raising that are dead during this period of time. hundreds during this period, and they're putting them in compost piles. Just watch Food Inc. You'll understand what's going on. I've watched it and it was disgusting. I don't eat KFC anymore. I only eat chicken heavily. If it doesn't say farm raised and grazed and open, I don't eat chicken anymore. It's that bad. It has too many other additive chemicals to make it grow like that can't be good for you. The lady that was growing them in Food Inc. said she can't even take antibiotics anymore because she's allergic to them from what she was given to the chickens. People, you gotta wake up. Your immune systems are being destroyed. Your daughters are going into puberty at 6, 7 years old. There was a case of a 4-year-old in Australia that went into puberty, started having her first period. This is not right. And males are being feminized, so they can't fight against the system. They just go along with it. We're being turned into slaves. Man, it's bad. Well, this is Spellbinder with this news update on the corporate takeover of the agricultural America, which that's what we used to be, 80%. Now we're like 20%. Until next time, be good or be wise, because they're coming for you one way or another through Agenda 21. Good day.